Stop everything you're doing right now because what I'm about to share with you could put $2,000 directly into your pocket. I'm not kidding, and this is absolutely not clickbait. The White House just dropped a bombshell announcement that changes everything we thought we knew about these tariff dividend checks. If you've been waiting, hoping, and praying that this money would actually come through, well, my friend, today might just be your lucky day. And if you're a senior living on Social Security, barely making ends meet, struggling to pay for groceries, medications, and utilities all at the same time, you're going to want to hear every single word of this video because this news could be a complete game changer for your financial situation heading into 2026. Trust me when I say this, you do not want to miss what I'm about to reveal. Now, before I dive into all the juicy details that everyone is talking about, let me introduce myself real quick for those of you who are new around here. My name is Money Pro, and this channel is dedicated to bringing you the latest updates on government benefits, stimulus checks, Social Security news, and anything that can help put more money in your pocket. I've been doing this for a while now, and my goal has always been the same: to help everyday Americans like you stay informed about money that could be coming your way. I don't sugarcoat things, I don't waste your time with unnecessary fluff, and I always give it to you straight with no nonsense. So if that sounds good to you, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and let's get this money together as a community. Alright, so let's get right into it because I know you're anxious to hear what's going on. I've got a headline right here that says, Trump likely to propose tariff check legislation in new year. Now listen carefully, this isn't coming from some random blogger on the internet or some unreliable source trying to get clicks. This information is coming directly from Kevin Hassett, who serves as the director of the White House National Economic Council. This man works closely and directly with President Trump on all economic matters. So when he opens his mouth and speaks about financial policy, we absolutely need to listen carefully because he knows what's happening behind closed doors. Now let me take you back for a moment so you understand the full picture here. Since as far back as July of this year, we've been hearing President Trump talk about this idea of sending $2,000 checks to American households. This wasn't just some offhand comment either. The Treasury Secretary himself came out and specified that these checks would go to households making less than $100,000 per year. That's huge news for working families across America. And it's especially important for our seniors who are trying to stretch every single dollar they have just to get by month to month. Speaking of seniors, I want to take a moment right here to address all of you who are currently living on Social Security. I know times are incredibly tough right now. I hear from so many of you in the comments section every single day, telling me about how grocery prices have gone completely through the roof. You're telling me how prescription medications are eating up your entire fixed income. You're sharing stories about how the cost of living adjustment, the COLA increase, just never seems to be enough to keep up with real-world expenses that keep climbing higher and higher. Some of you have told me you're choosing between buying your heart medication or putting food on the table, and that breaks my heart to hear. You've worked your entire lives, sometimes 40 or 50 years, paying into the system faithfully with every paycheck. You raised families, you built this country, and now you deserve to live with dignity and financial security in your golden years. That's exactly why updates like this one matter so much to me and why I work so hard to bring you this information. An extra $2,000 could mean the difference between choosing between food and medicine, or actually being able to afford both without that horrible stress keeping you up at night. So please, stick with me through this entire video because I'm going to break down everything you need to know. Now let me break down exactly what Kevin Hassett actually said in his recent interview because this is where things get really interesting and where you're going to find the most hope. When asked directly whether Americans should plan to receive these $2,000 checks in 2026, he explained that it's going to depend on what happens with Congress. Congress is going to have to appropriate those funds and officially approve sending that money to the American people. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, great, it's stuck in Congress. But here's the good part, and I want you to pay very close attention to this next piece of information. Hassett said that since July, we've had a tremendous amount of positive economic news that changes the equation completely. We've seen a couple of quarters with almost 4% economic growth, which is fantastic. The government has actually been running a surplus for a few months in a row, which is rare and significant. And get this part because it's important, the deficit compared to last year is down by a whopping $600 billion. That's not million, that's billion with a B. That's a massive improvement that creates real room in the budget for programs like this. He then said something that really caught my attention and made me sit up straight in my chair. He admitted openly that back in the summer months, he wasn't so sure there was actually space in the budget for checks like this. He had doubts about whether it could realistically happen. But now, with all these positive economic indicators stacking up one after another, he's pretty confident that there is room for it to happen. And here's the direct quote that should give every single one of you watching real hope for the future. He said, and I quote, "I would expect that in the new year, the president will bring forth a proposal to Congress to make that happen." Let that sink in for a moment. That's not speculation from some talking head on TV. That's not wishful thinking from people online. That's a top White House economic official, someone in the room where decisions are made, telling us directly that this proposal is likely coming in the new year. Now, I also want to address something incredibly important for all my seniors watching this, who are struggling right now in this very moment. I know you can't wait around forever for government help that may or may not come. Bills are due now, not 6 months from now. Rent is due on the 1st of the month. Utility companies don't care about proposals in Congress. So while we wait for these potential $2,000 checks to work their way through the system, make absolutely sure you're taking advantage of every single benefit available to you right now today. Check if you qualify for SNAP benefits, which is the food assistance program that can help you put groceries on your table. Look into LIHEAP for help with heating and cooling costs, especially with winter coming and energy bills going up. Make sure you're getting every single Medicare benefit you're entitled to, because many seniors leave money on the table simply because they don't know what's available to them. These programs exist specifically to help people just like you, hardworking Americans who have earned these benefits through a lifetime of contribution. There's absolutely no shame in using them. You've earned every bit of it. Let me also cover a few other important things from the interview that you should definitely know about. When asked about tariffs specifically and whether they're working, Hassett strongly defended the current tariff policies, saying they've absolutely proven their value and their mettle. We still have high economic growth, which many so-called experts predicted wouldn't happen with tariffs in place. They said tariffs would crash the economy, but that hasn't happened. The deficit is down significantly, the trade deficit is shrinking month over month, and imports from China are at their lowest level since China first entered the World Trade Organization decades ago. So the tariff revenue that would potentially fund these $2,000 checks is still flowing in strong and steady. There was also important discussion about the Supreme Court and whether they might challenge some of these tariffs on legal grounds. Hassett expressed strong confidence that the Supreme Court will ultimately rule in the administration's favor when they hear these cases. And even if they somehow didn't rule favorably, he suggested that widespread refunds would be extremely unlikely due to the massive administrative complexity that would be involved in processing millions of refund claims. So for now, the tariff revenue stream appears secure and stable, which is very good news for the prospects of these dividend checks actually reaching your mailbox or bank account. To all my seniors out there watching this video right now, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I see you and I hear you. Every single day, I get messages and comments from people just like you who are worried sick about making it through the month. You're telling me about sleepless nights, worrying about money. You're sharing stories about having to ask family members for help when you've been independent your whole life. You shouldn't have to worry like this after decades of hard work and dedication to your families and communities. Whether these $2,000 checks come through or not, I promise you that I will keep fighting every single day to bring you every piece of information that could help improve your situation even a little bit. This channel exists for people like you, and I'm not going anywhere. We're in this together. So there you have it, folks. The complete breakdown of everything you need to know right now. Things are definitely looking more promising than ever for these $2,000 tariff rebate checks. The White House is clearly signaling that a formal proposal is coming to Congress in the new year, and the economic conditions actually seem favorable for it to happen this time around. I'll be right here on this channel bringing you every single update the moment it drops, so you're always informed and never caught off guard. If you found this video helpful and informative, please take just 1 second to hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to reach more people who desperately need this information, but don't know where to find it. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss a critical update, and I'll see you in the very next video. Oh, and hey, before you go, Social Security was also discussed again in Congress by Representative Angela, and there are some important developments you need to know about. You're definitely going to want to click on the video showing on your screen right now to get all those important details that could affect your benefits. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay strong, keep the faith, and I'll catch you on the next one. This is Money Pro, always looking out for you.